the Xbox Game Showcase, I really enjoyed overall. I thought that there were certainly some memorable moments. There were moments, of course, that, kind of felt, not as great as I was kind of expecting or hoping for. Some letdowns, but some really great surprises. And overall, I thought the Xbox Game Showcase had a little bit of everything for every kind of gamer out there. And with that, the biggest thing, guys, to me was and a lot of people really aren't talking about this, which is interesting, but Xbox Game Pass. This is a service, guys, which, in my opinion, is the best service in all of gaming, and it's not even close at this point. I mean, I've been saying this for a while now, that Xbox Game Pass is the Netflix of gaming right here, right now. What Xbox is building with Xbox Game Pass is something really special. And look, lots of people aren't talking about it. Lots of people are just talking about, the console wars. People are talking about, PlayStation 1, their game showcase over Xbox, or Xbox One, their showcase over PlayStation. There are really big and great things that are happening while everyone else is kind of just, arguing about who's winning the console wars and such, which is another conversation for another day. What we know, though, guys, is everything that was shown at the Xbox Game Showcase is going to be available with Xbox Game Pass. And that's huge. Like, that is absolutely huge. Think about it like this. You get to do Xbox Game Pass for $1. I think it's like the first month or something. And then, of course, you get this, the model is like, I think it's, $10 a month on console, and then, on PC. And then as far as like for Ultimate, I think it's like $15 a month. I mean, the model is, it's one of those things. I think it's kind of changing as well. But nonetheless, this is a model that people should really be talking about. I mean, it's absolutely huge. I mean, think about it like this. Okay, let's say you pay $15 a month, but you have access to over 100 games to play. I mean, guys, you could spend years on the games that they have at this point in time. And then all the games that they showed at the Xbox Game Showcase are coming to Xbox Game Pass. Now, I'm anticipating that the Xbox Game Pass most likely is going to, and I'm really expecting it to go up in price over the years. I mean, I think that that's something that will happen, but this is the best service in gaming. And it's not even close. I think that the amount of games that they have and all the exclusives that are going to be coming out, they're really banking on Xbox Game Pass, really kind of being something successful for them. And I hope it does. I really do, because I want to see all of the studios, or I should say pretty much all of the, big corporations like Sony, Nintendo, to follow suit here and have something like this. But Xbox Game Pass, since it's launched, as well as xCloud, Xbox Game Pass is going to have like a head start on what PlayStation thinks of, as well as what Nintendo does. And so what I'm getting at here, guys, is that everyone's talking about the console wars, but they're not talking about a service that is absolutely incredible. And I'm not saying that, this is a reason why you should be buying Xbox, or I'm not saying that this is, why they're winning the console wars. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that this is the best service. I mean, if you want to get the best bang for your buck, guys, and you don't want to, because a lot of us aren't able to afford a number of games a year, like, $60 for a game, I mean, that's pretty expensive. But if you can get those games, the games that you like, now, if you don't like any of the Xbox Game Pass games, then, of course, that you'll be out of luck with that. But if you like some of these games, let's just say, for example, you're a big Halo fan, and you don't want to go out and pay $60, price tag for the new Halo. And you're kind of a casual Halo player. You'll like playing the campaign, then you'll kind of dip your toes in the multiplayer Forge mode and things of that nature. And then you'll move on to another game. Then Xbox Game Pass is the best thing for you, because you can get it for $1 or $9.99 a month, whatever it might be. And it justifies, you get the Xbox Game Pass, you play Halo, and then you can play 100 plus more games that are coming out around that same time. All these games that are already on there. And guys, there's a real library list and it's growing at a rapid rate. And to me, Xbox, the reason why I say that it is the Netflix of gaming is because what Netflix did was they had this service where you could watch movies and such, of course, just from the comfort of your own home. But then the way that they evolved was they pumped billions of dollars into their own content and had that content available for you that you're able to binge watch. And they started with like binge watching shows and things of that nature. So what Xbox is doing is something similar. They've got a lot of games on there that aren't just Xbox exclusives right now, but I think the idea is Xbox is taking an aggressive approach to own the exclusive market, where they are like Netflix. They're pumping out a lot of exclusive content, so it gives you so much reason to get Xbox Game Pass, especially if you're an Xbox user. I mean, guys, it's a no-brainer to have this service. I mean, you can, of course, there's, tons of games on there, some great games on there, and even games that aren't owned necessarily by Xbox have partnered with Xbox to do this service. Now, in the long run, is Xbox Game Pass going to make Microsoft money is a whole nother conversation, but I think if enough people are doing it, it will justify it. Without a doubt. And I mean, you could say the same thing about Netflix, right? You could say, well, how are they really making, their money if they're pumping out so much money into content to create all this exclusive content? How are they making money based on like a $10 subscription to Netflix? Well, it's the amount of subscriptions that they're getting. And look, at the end of the day, I think Xbox is taking that same approach where they're thinking, look, we're going to have so much content that people are going to be able to take in that it totally justifies getting the Game Pass. And maybe Game Pass, goes up in price over time, but they're going to be so far in a way ahead of everyone else when it comes to a service like this. This could be a real tipping point in what people decide to do moving into the next generation of consoles. And like I said, I'm not saying that Xbox is going to win the next generation of consoles, because a lot of people sound like they're going to get the PlayStation, and people are, passionate PlayStation players at this point. But Xbox is taking things very seriously, like an aggressive approach to try to own this side of the market, that being like exclusives. PlayStation has some great exclusives, don't get me wrong. So does Nintendo. But the fact of the matter is that Xbox has more of the exclusives at this point in time. They are building a bigger library of exclusives than that of PlayStation. And that's just right now. It could certainly change. But of course, we know that the exclusives from Sony have sold incredibly well. The exclusives from Xbox have done well, not as well as PlayStation. So it's a very interesting, war that's going on here, guys. But it's small battles like this, in my opinion, that are going to dictate what happens in the next generation of consoles and such, and for the future. I just love, since I love Xbox, I love PlayStation, I love Nintendo, I love all of them. What I'll say is that Xbox obviously did a terrible job with, their announcement of the Xbox One when that came out, and they kind of redeemed themselves over time. And I feel like Xbox Game Pass is just kind of showing us their vision long term for this thing. And this is big. This is really big. I mean, this launched back in 2017, and now a few years later, this is where we're at. And I mean, they have more exclusives coming out than any other, company out there, and it's not even close. Sure, you could say that, these exclusives aren't as good as PlayStation's, but they've got just so much content you can take in, like from a gamer's perspective. I mean, it's unbelievable. So with that, guys, keep your eyes on Xbox Game Pass. Definitely check it out. If you're an Xbox, if you play Xbox, you should be definitely looking at this. I think that this is going to get bigger and bigger over time. I think that PlayStation and Nintendo need to have similar services like this, and this could certainly help dictate what happens with the next generation of consoles. But with that, guys, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys love Game Pass? Do you use Game Pass? Did Xbox Game Showcase kind of convince you to at least try Xbox Game Pass? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more content like this, guys, stay here with Zero TV.